So for the day's adventure, we're heading into Crystal Lakes in the Mount Rainier National Park. The Trailhead parking lot is right off Highway 410. And we're gonna probably go up above Crystal Lakes and maybe hike over to Sourdough Gap to get the view down at Sheep Lake. Hike today should probably be about 7 miles round trip is what we're expecting. So we'll see you on up the trail. So far this has just been a steady uphill hike through the woods, and uphill enough so that you probably don't want to come the day after leg day. So 2.2 miles roughly in, you hit the junction. To the left takes you to Crystal Lake, the main or larger lake, and then to the right you have a trail that's going to take us down to the lower lake and the campsites at the lower lake. So here's the lower lake with Crystal Peak right up there. I think that looks like a duck. That's a pretty little lake, isn't it? Yeah. And the fall colors are starting to sneak out. And there is a toilet here at the lower lake campsite as well. So we're gonna check that out because toilets are always exciting. They are when you're in the woods.
And the old man approaches.
Are you shooting some toilet footage? It's one of those nice pit toilets that we like. And look what I did because I don't have my first aid kit with me. I managed to stab my leg.
How did you do that?
I ran into a branch.
Oh my gosh. You are full of wonders, old man. Go around searching for...
It'd actually be easier now to find interesting places to put trails because we have satellite. Yeah. Yep. So I think a lot of the trails originally were either animal trails or trails used by Native Americans to, locate seasonal food sources. But you could actually more easily locate interesting places to hike now just by looking at satellite imagery.
Yeah, but if you would look it up on the computer, however.
Yeah? What do you see? Oh, look at you standing on that log in the water. Getting your shoes wet. Back into the lead, huh? Can't walk behind me. No, sir. This is a pretty lake, isn't it? And that was definitely a solid 3 miles, and it was pretty much uphill the entire way, even from the lower lake, wasn't it? It was still kind of an uphill. It wasn't flat. It was uphill. Not as steep as the way into the lower lake. Right. Look at that. That's just, yeah, that's great. And fall colors. It's hard to beat. Uh-huh. Summery warmth with a fall look to it. Yeah. It's worth getting some footage just around the lake a little bit, isn't it? It is a pretty lake. It's a great spot.
Or should I say pond?
A pond.
Compared to our previous discussion.
I guess it's all a matter of how you define things, right? That's why definitions are so important. What's the definition of a pond? What's the definition of a lake?
Okay, yeah. You know what I hate?
I don't know what you hate. What do you hate?
When we're in like language arts or something, and the teacher's like, okay, so the rule is, and then 2 seconds later she says, except you should check in a dictionary because lots of words defy the rule. So what's the rule?
So
there is no rule.
what's the point of a rule if there's
decided.
500 exceptions? That's right.
Then there's like, there should be rules.
That's the problem with the English language, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like how we add an E after the end just to make it look fancy. The E doesn't do you any good because you don't say it.
So we're working our way up the trail towards the gap. We're going to work our way over to Sourdough Gap here in a little bit. So it's about halfway up, and this is the view of Crystal Lake as you head up the hill, and you can see why it's worth it to hike up above Crystal Lake, because now Rainier is popping its head up in the background, and that is beautiful. The cross-country route to get back on trail. All right, so this is about 3.8 miles, 3.9, and these are our horrifying views right now. Look at that. It's just terrible. No, it's not. Am I a sarcastic old man? There you go, look at that. That's why you gotta hike up above the lake. It's great on the lakeshore, but this is just fabulous. See, that's why you climb up higher, right? You get the reward when you get up high. Great views, fall colors. Walking with the old man, having to wait up for the old man because he can't keep up because he's so old, old and slow. So we made it up over the pass, and now we're going to head up right over there is Sourdough Gap and the overlook of Sheep Lake.
Yeah.
It's a little over 4 miles to Sourdough Gap. And you step through the gap, looking out towards Chinook Pass, with views down to Sheep Lake. And this is probably my favorite type of trail when you're traversing a bowl and you can see the trails stretching off into the distance. I love getting up out of the timber where you have some expansive views. Yeah, but you're not going down that way. You're going to stay off that edge. Yes, you are going to stay off that edge. I don't care how badly you think you want to go on it.
And I mean, who knows? You might end up being lucky and it'll just end right there.
It's just beautiful trail. We picked today specifically because the forecast indicated we'd have clear skies. And I get tired of going to places I know have great views and being socked in with fog. So We timed this one just perfect. So 5.4 miles in, back at Crystal Lake. And I think I'm just gonna let the video roll as we put in the Lakeshore component of this walk, because that's probably what people want to see anyways. Is it worth coming for? Yep, it is. Completely worth it. Those are great shoes. I like bright shoes. They're the best. So what do you like better, Savannah? The view at the lake or up above the lake?
I don't know.
Hard to pick. Yeah, it looks like it'd be great for a swim, doesn't it?
Above the lake, you can see 2 lakes instead of 4.
And you have the view of Rainier in the background, which is
And how is that view right here?
pretty nice.
This duty wood? Oh, he's an old man. Yeah, look at him. Look at him with his gray hair. He got some gray hair. Got some green sunglasses that his wife got him because it matched his shoes. Like, look at that. This backpack's even green.
All right, so we're almost back to the parking lot. About 8 miles round trip. Crystal Lakes with the Sourdough Gap extension is in the bag. 5 stars?
Yep.
Yep, five stars. 5-star views once you get to Crystal Lakes, right?
Yep.
The hike up is just an uphill grind through the forest. So it's a forest hike. Whoa, that's bouncy. Slow down. There we go. It's just an uphill slog through trees. So not my favorite type of hiking on the way up, where you're just walking through a forest and you're going uphill. But boy, once you get to the lakes, it's worth it. Go on a sunny day so you get the views and you won't be disappointed. And you guys need to get outside.
Goody mood.